Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for January 27th, 2017. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You can see that price, after pushing through the 2280s, rallied right into our 2296s, came within a half point of the round number of 2300, and is now sitting on these highs after kind of rejecting prices above that 2296. We're sitting there in an inside day right now heading into RTH. Very quiet. We had a very quiet day of digestion the previous session. And after you see a big push up to these prices, there is a tendency to continue to digest at these edges. So it could be another quiet day as we trade back and forth in the range, so be very careful. But at the moment, anytime you get a big push up like this, any pullback into that breakout zone, so between 76 and 80, could be an opportunity for bulls to defend and squeeze it back toward highs again and into 2300. So right now we could have another quiet session on our hands, but should any pullback occur, there could be an opportunity to swing it back up. Taking a look here at the intraday time frame, you'll notice right here the previous session, very quiet, a lot of back and forth trading activity, and that could be much the same today. So again, the previous session's range is going to be very important, as is the high and the low here. And what I mentioned yesterday was you have to be very diligent about waiting and being patient and waiting for the edges. So right now, trading around 1-day VPOC, 5-day VPOC, VWAP doesn't offer a whole lot of edge in this zone. So you have to wait till we get out to one of the outer edges of the range. Up here into 98 to 99.5 could be an opportunity to bring it back. Same thing down here. If price pushes into 88, 87, it could be an opportunity to bring it back up toward 94s. So we have to kind of be patient again today, sit on our hands if it has to be the case, and just continue to watch this range as digestion continues to develop. Here's a look at crude oil. Crude oil continues to prove that 54s is very important and also expensive at this time. So every time price pushes into 54s, we're seeing a rotation back down. We got a nice push into 54s the previous session, and then from there it just kind of held those highs, rotated back down a little bit, and then this morning we got a test of the high beyond the previous session's high, again into 54, and we saw another clear rejection back down, currently trading 53.41. So right now, what I mentioned before was we have kind of higher lows going into 54s. We have bears clearly defending that area still, but with higher lows here, it usually comes a squeeze. So again, we may not be ready to break out quite yet, but once price is able to push through 54s, it could unleash a big upside move of 3 to 5 handles at the very least. So we got to continue to watch it right now. Could be range activity for the most part, but above 54, 25s could begin to squeeze big time here. Here's a look at the intraday. On an intraday basis, you'll see again 54s, very important right here. Look at how price rallied into that zone, clear rejection, and then right back down to the previous close. And now we've seen this thing auction back down. So we have VWAP sloping downward. That typically implies weakness. And the range right now, 53.30 to 53.50. That's kind of a little zone right now. Where price is trading right inside. So above 53.50 could return prices into 54s for a short-term trade, and any failure to hold these 53.20s rotates this thing back down toward the previous session's low into the 52.80s or thereabouts. So right now, kind of trading in this little range, and we have a range on each side to watch here to see which side do we go toward. So right now, again, could be a day where you have to be very careful and focused here. Above 53.50 could easily squeeze right back toward highs. So keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look at gold futures here. Gold has been trending lower this entire time. Rejected at the previous week's high. And you saw this thing kind of melt right into the previous week's low. And now we're sitting here approaching 1180. We got to a low yesterday of about 1183s. And are currently sitting right near that zone right at the moment, 1184s. This is the previous month's high price right there, and this is the 1180 key level. Obviously, rejecting that high right there led to a big push down, but the market has still been in an overall uptrend. So At the moment, 1180 is a big time key level. Should that level be hit, there could be a short-term bounce off that zone. Otherwise, any failure to hold 1180 will likely lead to a return back toward the next key level down, which is going to be 1145s to 1146 half. So this is going to be an important area to watch. Obviously, clearly downtrending market. Keep an eye on VWAP on an intraday basis. VWAP has been offered at every sign, basically. At every turn, you've seen VWAP offered, even late in the day. That was the same level we were watching, 1190, 1191, looking to offer it, and that was the same case like the day before. So right now, if there's any push beyond the previous session's closing VWAP, which is 1191s, that could begin a spark move back toward 1200. So this is going to be a very important pivot to watch today, 1191. For now, the object is to fade that level and fade new lows and trade the range at the moment with a downward bias. But should price push through 91s, that's going to open up a return to 1200. Let's take a look at the NQ. Here's the NQ. That's the intraday right now. Again, very quiet session. The previous day, we thought that could be the case, especially after the push up. We thought there could be some sort of digestion, and there was a little bit of a rejection tail, not significant, but enough to notice that the market is in a kind of a stalled pattern. So right now, 5140 up to about 5170 is the range here. Overall, when you have a rejection day like we're kind of seeing here, the tendency is to defend the midpoint for a shot at dropping this thing back toward the breakout point. So if that does materialize, obviously any failure to hold 5140 could open this thing up back toward 5080, and that could offer an opportunity to buy this thing yet again. We continue to remain in an uptrending market. At some point, the next pullback will still be a buying opportunity until proven otherwise, but it's very expensive up here, and there's not a whole lot of participation at the moment on an intraday basis. So again, be careful, be cautious. Here's a look at the intraday time frame. You can see that, again, the previous session, very, very quiet. Not a whole lot to do. We didn't really focus too much on the NQ the previous session, and again, that could be the case again today. Right now, you can see here's the previous session's low. Overnight trading rejected at it, and we're seeing a move back up. So here is the range right now. So 5040 up to about 5165, 5163. That's a zone right there to watch for fading opportunities right now, back and forth. If there's any attempt to push beyond 5163s right here, you could begin to push to new highs and attempt to push and test that high at 68.5. But even then, the range is still intact right now. Overall, we're still in a range-bound market here after the rally, so the expectation would be to fade the edges until proven otherwise. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this thing plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and happy Friday.